Good morning and welcome to Carolina Cares, an iHeart Media production. My name is Tyler Ryan. I'm your host, and today we're going to talk about a sort of a fun subject, and that's somewhat maybe the fountain of youth. There was someone who once said, and please allow me to paraphrase, but it's not the getting old that slows you down, it's the slowing down that makes you old. To that end, there's a very cool place here in Columbia, open to folks over 50. We call them the seasoned citizens, our friends who have a little knowledge behind them. But that is the Lourie Center, located right on Pickens Street in downtown Columbia. Joining me from the Lourie Center this morning, Miss Paula Gordon, you're on the advisory panel and lifelong learning advisory panel, and Miss Stephanie Benjamin, you are the program and marketing director for the Lourie Center. Good morning, ladies, to you both.
Good morning.
Good morning, Tyler.
Have you not heard that before? I think I may have butchered it, but the idea is the same. It's not the getting old that slows you down, it's the slowing down that makes you old. So you don't slow down. In fact, Tom Petty said, if you never slow down, you never grow old.
And that's right, because you just got to keep on moving, whether it's physically or mentally. You just have to keep on going.
That's right. And that's kind of the mission of the Lourie Center, isn't it?
Yes, that's the combination.
Exactly. Something to do, fellowship, obviously moving around. And that doesn't necessarily mean going around a marathon, but it's just challenging yourself to move even up here.
That's right. I hope you'll allow me to read our mission statement for the Lourie Center.
I would love it.
It touches on all of these things. The Lourie Center provides opportunities for adults over 50 to remain physically fit, socially engaged, intellectually stimulated, and independent. Aging in place is being independent, staying in your home as long as possible.
And that's an important thing, too, I think. As we grow a little older, we like that independence because that's what we've had our whole lives. And so, being able to do that and having a place that you can continue that independence, I think is very important as well.
And the Lourie Center offers a variety of programs that help with just that. For example, I'm at the Lourie Center 5 days a week. Mm-hmm. It is my gym where I do Pilates and aerobics and Zumba and Tai Chi. It's also my intellectual environment because we can study Spanish, we can take art classes. Right. So we have a lot of things, and we also have a lifelong learning program that's for adults to help stimulate our brains as we get older. Mm-hmm. So the Lourie Center offers is great activities, and some night activities even that Stephanie offers are, you have authors.
We feature local authors with our Words and Wine program on the third Tuesday.
Stephanie.
I know. Snacks, wine, that's social engagement. Everything we do it's fundamentally about the social environment, the social engagement, the coming in and people knowing your name, saying, "Oh, hi, how are you doing, Paula? Nice to see you, Steph. Sure. Oh, where were you last week?" So the social element is more and more important as we age. Mm-hmm. Some of us are living alone. This is it. You come to the Lourie Center to make friends so that you can stay healthy, focus on your health and happiness.
Well, it's no secret, especially to listeners of the show, we have Taylor Wilson from the Alzheimer's Association on very often, and that is one lesson. And having my grandfather just passed, dealing with Alzheimer's for so many years, he recently passed. But that is one of the biggest lessons that she always talks about is that cerebral engagement of doing crossword puzzles, of knitting, of Pilates, of whatever, that's so important to offsetting the potential for the effects and impact of Alzheimer's or dementia, whatever you want to insert there. But that is one key thing that seems fundamental, and that's just the constant stimulation, something to do. You're not just sitting around the house, right?
There's a lot of science behind activity,
mindfulness,
circulation, movement, brain health. We're offering a great class right now called Ageless Grace, and it is a brain health movement class. Mm-hmm. So it's involves music, it involves some repetitive motion. So there's movement, but it's from a chair. So it encompasses all levels of mobility, even all ages. But of course, it's our members who are older that are concerned with, staving off any sort of dementia or brain deterioration. So things like that, I'm always interested in offering. Variety is where it's at.
I love it. Well, let's back up a little bit and kind of talk about the Lourie Center. Give me the background, how the center was formed. Let's walk through the history. Let's jump in the Wayback Machine.
Yeah, where did the Lourie Center begin? Once upon a time, there were a group of dancers, social dancers, from what I understand, up in Arsenal Hill area. And they had a dream to have their own building where they could have parties and get-togethers. They formed a coalition. This was in the 80s, I believe.
Okay.
Formed a coalition. We have a giant plaque in our lobby that lists names. A lot of very prestigious and accomplished individuals were behind this.
Right. Names we don't
Isidore
recognize.
Lourie was on that panel. There will be some other names that come to mind, but a lot of people got together, raised some money, erected this building on land that belongs to the city of Columbia. Mm-hmm. We own the building. This is city property right behind Maxie Gregg Pool.
Right.
And it was originally called the Capitol Senior Center.
Okay.
There's a lot of other history, but I think, basics is that the building was erected in 95.
Right.
And in 2013, we changed the name from Capitol Senior Center to the Isidore E. Lourie Senior Center.
Isidore E. Lourie
Yes.
Senior Center.
To honor his legacy. He has passed, but he was a legislator for many years.
Sure.
Worked both sides of the aisles, championed for seniors, senior rights, senior legislation. I did a lot of great things, including putting some legislation in place that diverts the bingo revenues to senior centers. Ironically, not senior centers like the Lourie Center. We are an independent nonprofit 501c3. Many senior centers are run by municipalities.
Right.
But we are unique, and we like that. But it's, we stand out.
Sure.
501c3, independent senior center. There's nothing else like it in the state of South Carolina.
And when I mentioned, we're talking about kind of the location, if you know where Maxie Gregg Pool in that park is, I said Pickens. Actually, technically, I guess South Pickens, technically. But you can't miss it. If you know where Pickens is, you're on Blossom. You cannot miss the Lourie Center, just if you're looking geographically. But I'll make sure it's South Pickens, not Pickens, but you get the idea. If you're on Pickens, you can see it.
There's a service road that goes behind Maxie Gregg Park. It's called Park Circle, and that's our technical address. So you take that little service road behind the park and look for the building with the blue awning. Doesn't look like much from the outside, but you've been in the Lourie Center. It's a gorgeous building.
Facility,
very modern facility. It's clean, very accessible.
And I'll tell you what, I saw Elvis Presley there.
Yes, you did.
I did see Elvis. He was there. He was in the building. He was in the building, and the food was good, too. I was going to throw that out there. That's the way to my heart, anyway.
I've still got the photo.
And if you're curious about the Lourie Center, it's not Lourie, the L-O-R-I. It's Lourie, L-O-U-R-I-E, Lourie Center. And if you'd like information, we'll put links for you, of course, at the blog at WVOC. But it's Lourie Center, L-O-U-R-I-E, Center, S-C, as in South Carolina, .org. If you want some more information on
.com.
.com.
Yes, we went with the .com.
There you go. We'll see. Okay, there.
We made a decision, and it's .com.
Well, I will tell you this: if you put .org by accident, it still comes up.
Yes, it does.
Because I just did it.
Yeah, because we're smart like that. But
because I just did it, so I know it works.
We bought the domain for that one as well.
And that's smart marketing. That's a whole different conversation, but absolutely. So let's talk about some of the folks, the members. It's a group for folks 50 and older, correct?
Right.
Okay. Is there top end, or is it you got to be 50 to join?
50 to join.
Okay.
And we have different memberships that are available. We have a full membership for a year, and you'll have to help me with prices, Stephanie.
$35 a month or $300 for the full year.
It's not a lot.
Breaks down to $25 a month. It's an all-inclusive membership. So if you buy the full membership, it includes just about every class. So pick and choose.
Sure.
It's all available.
You can do as many as you want.
Right. I mean, that's in any gym. If you're thinking about fitness, if you join any really gym around, that's a great deal, because even if you get a deal on a gym membership, y'all, and if you haven't joined a gym lately, sure, they'll give you the door key cheap, but then they're going to charge you for every class in addition too. So having that one price is pretty handy.
And the gym classes that we have there are all different levels.
Okay.
From a very simple level, and one is a chair workout where you actually sit in a chair, and we have aggressive kinds of aerobics, I would say, very intense workouts. So, I mean, they have something for everybody.
Sure.
And a lot of different kinds of things, including weightlifting if you don't like aerobics, or Zumba if you want to dance, Tai Chi if you're interested in that.
Right.
So we have a lot of different levels.
Right. And and that's important too. As we age, let's face it, none of us are 21 anymore. Just
Right.
the way it is. Y'all ladies look 28, but I'm a touch older than that.
We love you.
But but remember when you're doing a Zumba class or you're working out, it's all at your own pace. So yeah, you might be a little slower than you once were. You might be able not to bench press as much as you once did, but you're still competing against yourself. And so that's really all that matters. So it doesn't matter what you can do. It's about movement, right?
Absolutely.
It's about the activity.
Staying active. Yes.
That's the key fundamental.
It's a come as you are environment. So wherever you're at with your physical health,
Right.
a lot of our members, we have over 500 members, not all at the same time, but in general.
That'd be a party right
A
there.
lot of our members are dealing with, conditions of aging. Maybe they've had a shoulder replacement or they've got arthritis. Balance is an issue for a lot of aging individuals. It's something that needs to be maintained as we age. So we offer several classes that help maintain balance. Tai Chi comes to mind. Also some specific class programs that address improving balance. And they document your progress so that you leave that program knowing that you're just a little safer in your home than you were before because your balance is better. But all of our classes bring the approach with our instructors, bring the approach that you do what you can. And if you're not able to do, if you need to sit or if you need to an alternative move, the instructors will offer that to you because we're all aging and we all recognize that we're in different places with that.
Right.
So this is not a cutthroat, no pain, no gain environment. It's supportive and happy, but for certain, the individuals that are taking these classes are improving their health.
Sure.
And I see Paula walking out of class, and her face is glowing. She's panting. She's a little angry, but she loves it. They love it. They love the challenge, and our instructors bring that.
And if you aren't a class person, there's also a weight room there.
Okay.
And a training room.
Strength and cardio rooms
And
with
that is a different
state-of-the-art
level of
equipment.
membership that is
$150 a year includes 7-day-a-week access to our strength room and our cardio rooms. So there are some people that just want to come and work out on the equipment, treadmills, ellipticals. We have a consultant who will introduce you to the equipment if you're new to working out so that you're comfortable coming and working out on your own, but a separate membership. If you're a full member, of course, you have access to that as well.
Sure.
So meet with a trainer, put together a regimen, take a class, go work out on the treadmill. It's August right now, so we're people in there working out because it's 100 degrees outside.
I was going to say your air conditioner works, right? I mean, there's
Sure
Yes.
does.
there's an important thing.
Absolutely.
For sure. Talking with Paula Gordon and Stephanie Benjamin from the Lourie Center right on South Pickens, right behind the Maxie Gregg Pool and Park area. Just a very cool facility location for our friends that are 50 plus, which is like the new 30.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Because I will tell you this, when I was like 25, like 50,
Yes.
holy smokes! now that I'm kind of glancing down that big 50, I'm like, no, I think we're good. Now I'm not like 80, holy smokes!
Well, Tyler, that's one of the reasons we decided to rebrand in 2013. The modern approach to aging, especially with, the baby boom generation,
Right.
They have changed the philosophy of aging, and that the new approach is it's not about being a senior citizen. It's not even about considering aging as a problem. It's a new way of life.
Right.
And a lot of our members are retired, so they have more time on their hands, and they're embracing this age. They're embracing the 50s and 60s and really making it something special. We have very vibrant, active people who are engaged in their communities, and this is just one way that they're engaging in their health and happiness.
Sure, and it's very easy, and it doesn't take a whole lot to do that. Tell me about the Lifelong Learning Program. I know that you're heavily involved with that, Miss Paula. What exactly, really kind of jump into that?
Well, the Midlands Lifelong Learning Program is a continuing education program for adults over 50 in the community, and it's modeled after the Osher Lifelong Learning Institute, a foundation that supports about 123 lifelong learning programs on university and college campuses throughout the country. And in South Carolina, there are 4 such colleges that support this Osher lifelong learning, and that's Clemson, Coastal Carolina, USC at Beaufort, Bluffton, and in Greenville at Furman. So Sandra Owensby, who's the director of the Lourie Center, got an idea that maybe we could start one of those learning centers here in Columbia at the Lourie Center.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of a coincidence that it happened when it did, because she came to me and asked me to be on the board, and I have 2 friends in town who also had an idea to do lifelong learning. And so I got the 3 of them together, and along with Sandra Berger, who is our chair of our committee. And we started the Lifelong Learning Center by trying to get local university or local educators to come in and teach a variety of classes. And these classes last for about 4 weeks.
Okay.
And they're an hour a class, so it's not and there's no homework, there are no tests.
I was a little worried about that.
You don't have to worry about that. But we've had such a variety of subjects. We started a few years ago, and we've had science subjects, social studies, current events, social classes to help with aging and so on. And we're getting ready to launch our fall series, which starts in October.
Okay.
And we have a variety of classes. And just to name these classes for you, we have a Master the Art of Aging Well is one of our classes. Legacy writing, that is where a person who is maybe a grandparent would like to write down memories of their life for their grandchildren.
Right.
And someone who leads you through that process.
I love that idea. I love that idea.
Another one is coping with climate chaos. So we talk about global warming. Another is the Middle East, bridging the Strait of Gibraltar, North Africa, and beyond. And then a history of the American choir, Jubilee, Spirituals, and Gospels. So you can see we have a variety of classes,
Right.
each taught by someone who is an expert in that area. And they involve discussions and some, they give kind of a basic information and then involve discussions. And one that we had in the past that I can tell you about that was interesting was my husband's a dentist, and so he was really interested in a science class that was diseases of historical people.
Diseases of historical people.
And I thought to myself, yuck. I'm a history teacher, but I thought, yuck. But I went to the class with him, and it was absolutely delightful. And just to give you an example, Henry VIII had a genetic disorder
Right.
that it interfered with the X gene of the female. And so his male sons were destined not to be able to be carried to birth. The only one that did was his firstborn male, and the firstborns usually were not affected by the disease.
Right.
So it really was his fault. His head should have been cut off rather than all the other ladies because, you know, he was the one who was causing this malfunction.
Right.
But anyway, it was fascinating. And once I realized that these diseases affected history, then I was very interested in the class. So that gives you an example of a class that we've had in the past that was very fascinating.
Do you have a history of Lake Murray class? There's so much history right here in town.
There is, absolutely. That's a great idea. We'll have to put that on our list.
Send that to the committee.
Yes.
There you go. If only you had a Lake Murray history buff that could help teach it. I don't know. We'll try to find.
We're putting them on the committee.
Yes.
Take a note. We do have
You're
a steering
up.
committee of about 10 individuals, very accomplished individuals who are educators themselves for the most part, and they have used their connections in the community to find academics and professionals who will teach these classes. So we've got a whole team of helping, the director of programs. They're doing all the work.
Sure.
Finding the instructors, putting together the topics. And I think they've done an excellent job providing variety, compelling topics. Climate change, That's going to be a good one. We had one in April, nuclear energy, from a professor who commands 6 figures to speak. Wow. And he's so knowledgeable. But, it's a heavy topic. But the students that participated, they came out so impressed. And they were so thankful that they had the chance to talk to somebody about nuclear energy.
Sure. What kind of duration is that? Is is like a semester? Is it? I mean, when you make that commitment for these folks, if they've got a little time or they don't.
It's just 1 hour for a month, so 4 classes.
Oh, easy.
Once a week.
Once a week.
And what's the cost to members, or is it a community? Is it something that the community can come into, or
yes,
do you have to be a member?
Yes, the community is welcome.
Yeah, we're really trying to get people to from the community to enjoy this continuing education. That's why we've put it together, is to offer this to the older adult population. So if you're not a member of the Lourie Center, each class is $30.
That's it.
It's a bargain. If you are a associate member of the Lourie Center, which is our recreational level of membership, it's $20 for each class. If you're a full member, like Paula, it's a $10 fee.
That's really that's cheap.
Great value.
Sure, it's like $8 per if it's a 4-week class. At the high level at 30, it's still like about what? My math is a bit foggy, but $8 you're giving or take for that. You're gonna buy more, spend more at Starbucks.
$2.50 a class for you, Paula.
Yes, and as you were saying, keep moving. Going back to what we were talking about, keeping your brain moving. I was an educator for 33 years, teacher in public schools here in Columbia, and I know that it is important to keep those neurons firing up so that you can make those connections. Because let's face it, as we get older, we lose the connections we're not using, and so we have to make new connections in order to keep our brains active.
It's funny, when I was growing up, my grandmother, when I would grab the calculator when I was in high school or junior high, and she would take it out of my hands, and she'd say, if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. I'm like, oh, whatever. I'm not sure I could carry a 1 or find a remainder of any number right now, because I have not thought about math in 150 years.
I try to subtract in my checkbook without a calculator, and then I see how well I do when I balance my checkbook.
Right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No, it's funny. All these fundamentals that we thought about, they're all coming to pass. And it really is all about activity and active. And I think the important part too that you guys do at the Lourie Center is the socialization part. I read studies, as we know, all the kids have got their faces in their phones and their tablets, and they'd rather text to each other at the dinner table than actually look at each other and have a talk. And there was a study that was done, I just read it, that at this point, 1 in 5, so 20% of us as collectively, as a society, would rather text or email than actually be forced to have a conversation with somebody. And that's a scary proposition, because we're creating this whole culture of solitude, in my opinion. And as we all know, we need to have that. We're social beings. We have to have that interaction.
We do.
I think that it's so important that the Lourie Center is providing that, although maybe our older friends aren't isolated because of tablets and iPads, but maybe they're isolated because they live alone, because they're retired, because maybe they've lost a
transportation issues, they live alone.
Health issue, yeah.
We do have a 5 Points Wheels bus that travels around the downtown core 5 mornings a week. So we will pick up individuals. You don't even have to be a member. We'll pick you up at the Finley House or at your house if you're in the territory, take you to the store, to the bank for personal errands, doctor's appointments, stuff like that.
That's great.
And we really do cultivate an environment at the Lourie Center that I think is fun and safe. A lot of people, I think, are nervous about interaction because sometimes the world is scary. People aren't always nice, but we're nice at the Lourie Center. When you walk in the door,
everybody there is I've been there. Everybody there is very nice.
Yeah, it's a pleasant environment. It's very supportive. So this is a place where you can really, that's where the social engagement begins.
Sure.
It's at the front door. Hi, Paula, how you doing?
That's right. Sure. And you have a big social event coming up soon, Stephanie.
Lots of them. There's always events coming up, but Fall Festival.
Right.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Fall Festival is coming up in about, 5 weeks,
okay.
October 4th. It's our annual fundraiser. It's a health and wellness expo. So we invite senior service providers, organizations that have programs and resources that are especially relevant to the older population. They will come and set up a table, bring a lot of swag and information.
That's free stuff, y'all.
Play games. They have, gift baskets, door prizes, we do beanbag toss and spin a wheel, but essentially it's about getting information out to people.
Sure.
Stuff you need to know. Healthcare, transportation, different resources on how to get engaged in your community, things you probably don't know about. I always bring in new things. So Health and Wellness Expo, we do music. We've got CJ Mack coming to do blues.
All right.
We have Spring Valley Voices, a choir from Spring Valley Baptist Church coming. So live music. Tyler, you know what it's like. It's just a real fun morning of activities, lots of people talking. We're going to have free lunch again. So our guests will enjoy
that lunch is good,
hot
by the
lunch.
Way. I'm not going to lie. It's a good lunch.
Yeah, well, and it's a free lunch. So, it's always fun to have a nice lunch with friends. It's a fun morning. And we're done by 1:00.
Right. And then,
looking forward to that.
So you can go home and catch your stories. You don't want to miss the soap operas.
Yes.
I know,
your day is yours.
I just tape mine. But I get the fundamental reality. You don't want to miss Days of Our Lives. I mean, come on.
Or maybe you have another date to, a volunteer engagement. We are accepting vendor registrations.
Okay.
Right up until
What's the cost for vendors who want to come in and be a part?
It starts at $275.
Okay.
$325 if you don't get in on the early bird, but our website does have the registration option right up front. So anybody who's interested, go sign up to get a table if you have a senior business.
And I've been to that event in the past, and it is very, very well attended. So I think for a company that deals with with the information that you were looking for to get out, it's money well spent. I think from a marketing standpoint, talking business wise, but it's important information to get out to the folks who come in as well. So
here's what I say. A lot of businesses, they buy advertising. Mm-hmm. This is face-to-face This is face-to-face promotion. It's extremely hard to get in front of this many seniors with quality engagement.
Right.
Our guests over 300 last year, 320. Real busy activity, but active morning. But so you do a lot of talking, but it's very high value. You're right.
Right. These are potential clients from a business standpoint that are there to see you for a reason. They're there because they want to learn what you have. And so that's I guess you'd call that a hot lead, I suppose, in the sales world, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's their target audience. So they have that just target audience there.
Sure. A lot of great stuff. And I did notice on your website, you also can rent this space for events and things. Is that
Yes, sir. It's a beautiful banquet hall. Mm-hmm. And right behind the park, cathedral ceilings, wood laminate floors. We rent the reception hall on the weekends primarily for private events.
Now you don't have to be 50 plus to rent the hall, right?
It's open to rental for the community, like wedding receptions, birthday parties, anniversary parties. It's a gorgeous space with dedicated parking and a catering kitchen right across the hall. The prices are competitive, and it dresses up beautifully, so it's appropriate for just about any occasion.
It's like a one-stop shop. I love it.
Well, we keep the building in tip-top shape,
right?
And we pretty much reserve the weekends for those kinds of function, and that becomes part of our revenue stream as a nonprofit. We have various revenue streams, but it's a very popular venue these days.
Really quick, time is growing short quickly. Ladies, volunteer opportunities, if there's somebody who wants to be involved, there are things people can do to get involved?
Oh, yes. I'm a big volunteer down there. Helping at the front desk. We always need help at the front desk, greeting people, help at the fall festival.
Perfect.
Yeah, fall festival is probably an easy way to volunteer.
Sure. I love it. Ladies, thank you. Paula Gordon, Stephanie Benjamin from the Lourie Center. Once again, it's Lourie Center, Lourie Center, SC.com. Although if you put .org, you'll still get there. I'm just saying.
You're right.
From the Lourie Center, right there on South Pickens Street. Ladies, thank you so much for what you do for our season of friends. And sadly, I'll be membership-wise eligible and far too close.
Come join us.
We're going to look for you.
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you so very much. Put links for you at WVOC under the Carolina Cares tab. This has been Carolina Cares, an iHeart Media production. If you have an idea of a conversation you'd like to hear or like to appear as a guest on the show, you can email me, Tyler Ryan. It's all one word, Tyler Ryan at iHeartMedia.com. And we'd love to hear your ideas and have you engage with us. Once again, my name is Tyler Ryan, your host. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and I will speak with you in 7 days.